Do you have so many ideas and dreams that you want to achieve that you haven't gotten started on any of them? Maybe you're a little overwhelmed and you can't even decide which one to choose. Well, in today's video, I'm going to share 4 strategies to help kickstart your creative dreams. I often wonder how many dreams are just floating around in the world or in notebooks and in people's computers, all these ideas, book ideas and podcast ideas and business ideas and inventions, all things we say we really would want to try, but we don't. But your idea, your creativity is meant for you. It's meant to be explored. And that's why I want to share in this video a couple of strategies that have helped me kickstart some of my creative dreams and hopefully can do the same for you. And the first one is to pick one. Yes, we have to pick one. And I know that it's challenging because you think, oh, I have so many. They're all so good. I don't even know which one to choose. And I feel like when we pick one, we're saying no to all the others. And we don't like that. And so instead of picking one, we do nothing with all of them, which doesn't help. And so we've got to reframe that. We're not saying no to all of these other ones. We're just saying, for now, I've decided to pick this one project to work on. And what's really beautiful about this process is that when we start one project, we might find that it actually opens up the floodgates and makes it easier for another project. For example, when I started writing my book, I realized that I needed a place to play around with ideas. And so I started a newsletter, which I had talked about doing also, but I put that on the sideline while I was working on the book. So while I was working on the book, I started that newsletter, and it was great because it actually helped me formulate different ideas. It also helped me test some of the ideas in the book. So I would write a newsletter, send it out, and there were certain topics that I ended up getting some really good feedback from some of the readers. And so I was able to use that as a platform to not only strengthen my writing process, but also work through some of the ideas that I really wanted to work through. Plus, there were certain things that weren't meant for the book, but I thought would be interesting to share. And so I got to share those ideas in the newsletter instead. So pick one project. Is there a book inside of you that you've been talking about doing forever? Or it's a podcast or a YouTube channel or a business? Whatever it is that you've been thinking about doing and you just haven't given any time and attention to because you have so many ideas, well, pick the one thing and you just don't know what's going to happen. Different ideas will start to open up that you never would have discovered if you hadn't started. Number 2, create a habit that supports that project. So I'll use book writing as an example because, well, it's top of mind because I published my first book last year, but also because I talk with a lot of leaders who have a dream of writing a book. And what we need to do is we need to create habits that support that dream. So if we don't write, if we come from a place of not writing on a regular basis, then we have to create a writing habit. That is one of the first things that we can do in writing a book. When we're writing a book, we have to dedicate time and attention towards writing every day. Or for some people, it's recording something every day that they can turn into the written word. And so we've got to make time for that. So we've got to create that habit that supports that project. So for example, what I did when I was writing my book is I created a writing habit where I wanted to write at least 250 words a day. For some people, they write for 20 minutes, 30 minutes. For me, I really wanted a word count. So 250 words a day really helped me to get on track with my writing habit. Now, what happened was oftentimes I would write 250 words and I would keep going because I became more inspired as I started writing. Even if I didn't feel like sitting down and writing, I made myself do it. And then I would be inspired during the writing process and I would write a lot more. Some days I would write 250 words and that's all I had in me. But I got those 250 words done. So what project are you working on that you can now create a habit that supports you in finishing that project? The same is true for if you want to learn guitar or you want to play the piano. What does that look like? What habit are you going to start incorporating into your day or your week? This doesn't mean you have to play every single day. Maybe for you, it just means, hey, twice a week, I am getting on the guitar, I'm taking a lesson, I'm going on YouTube, I'm getting a music teacher to teach me how to do this. What habit can you create on a regular basis that's going to support you in achieving that creative dream? Number 3, stop making excuses. Ooh, we are good at making excuses. We're good at them. And our excuses are really good We don't have time. We have all these things going on. I don't have the right tools. It's not perfect. I'm not great at it yet. All the things that we tell ourselves that stop us from pursuing our creative passions, we play those things in our head over and over. Lots of people are overthinkers. We overthink things as well. We make things harder than they have to be. And so we've got to stop making excuses. I oftentimes, when I'm in a coaching session with somebody, let's say they have a dream of getting more healthy and fit, and we're talking about what habit can they create around that dream. And they might say, well, I don't have time. I can't work out in the morning. I can't do it in the afternoon. They're talking all about what they can't do. And so I kind of let them go through the laundry list of all the excuses of why they can't do something. And then I sit back and I say, okay, great. Those are all the things you can't do. What can you do? What can you do? We can say all day long why we can't do something, but let's flip the script and figure out, okay, what can I do? Now the conversation turns into the positive when we can think, okay, I might not have an hour a day, but I could do something for 15 minutes a day or 5 minutes a day, whatever it is for you. We get to decide, what can you do? When we focus on what we can do, we're empowering ourselves to find those pockets of time that we know we have in order to achieve the dreams in our heart that we know are meant for us. You know your dreams are meant for you because they're inside of you. They're in that head. They're spinning around. They're in your heart. You feel it. You know it, especially those creative dreams that you've been talking about or thinking about for years. Now is the time to figure out, what is the one small step that I can take today to start pursuing that creative dream? And number 4, keep doing the work. That's it. We need to show up and do the work. I was just on a call with a friend of mine, and I love talking to him because he is one of my creative friends. I talk about creative friends in my book, where we all need creative friends, people that are out in the world pursuing their creative dreams. They know what it takes. They know how challenging it can be, and we get to support each other. And so we were talking all about how we have to keep doing the work and getting in the reps. Every time you sit down and write, every time you go for a run, every time you take that piano lesson, every time you take the yoga class or learn to cook something new, you're getting in the reps. That's what it is. You're getting in more and more reps, because it doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to look a certain way. It's just about creating, leveraging your creativity, putting things out into the world, and maybe not even putting out into the world, just for you, sitting down and doing the thing. That is you putting in the reps. The more reps that we get, the more confident we become. The more confident we become, that's when we're able to share our true selves. That's when we're really able to tap into our creative genius, get into that state of flow where we feel like what we're doing is meant for us, and whatever creative endeavor that is for you. So we've got to pick the one thing, pick that one project, decide what is the habit that you're going to incorporate every day, every week, every month to start making progress on that creative dream. Stop making excuses and then keep doing the work. Show up and do the work. Think about it. You have everything you need to show up and do the work, to put in the reps. There's so much in this world that we cannot control, but that is one thing that we can control. So whatever creative project you've been thinking about, whatever projects you have in your computer, tucked away in your journals that you've been thinking about, writing about, talking about, now is the time. This is your time to pursue your creative dream. What's so beautiful about this too is it starts opening up to your world. It really does. When you start working on one dream, it gives you a little bit more confidence to pursue some other dreams that are on your list in other areas of your life. It opens your world to new people and places and opportunities. Your creative dreams are meant for you. They're there for a reason. Listen to them and keep creating. I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, please share it with a colleague or friend or someone who you think needs to hear this message. And if you haven't yet subscribed to my channel, I invite you to do so for more content to help your personal and professional growth.